Hi guys, I am Ali, and I know this logo should be saying I'm Batman, but there's a reason I put this logo, and I will discuss this at the end of the video. But for now, let me introduce myself. I have over 4 years of experience in IT industry. I started working as a NOC engineer, then I worked as a NOC engineer for 1 year, then I moved my way into the SOC, and it's been 3 years I have been working as a security analyst. Very recently, a couple of weeks ago, I passed my Comptia CySA Plus exam, and a lot of guys were asking me, Ali, do you have any material, like any video content that helps you in preparation? And honestly, when I was preparing for this exam, I couldn't find a single course over YouTube. And there were some courses over Udemy, but those courses were not very detailed. Like they were purely theoretical for 5 to 6 hours of lectures, but those video content were not discussing how to use any tool. And this course talks a great deal about using the tools. So and yeah, then I found some lectures, some great some great stuff, but there some great course content, but those were really expensive, like $500, and I didn't have that much of money to pay for those, so I decided to study on my own, and it took me almost 6 months to study on my own. And so I know it's a lot of time, and I have some great news for you. I am starting this new course, this whole course for free for you guys, so you guys don't have to go through what I went through. Yay! And I'm really excited for this. This is a great learning opportunity for everyone, and let me explain why is it so. This the cybersecurity analyst skill set is like seven most demanding job in the IT industry, and it is said that by 2022 there will be almost like 3.5 million jobs in this cybersecurity industry. And a lot of you guys would be thinking like, why should we study Comptia CySA Plus? Why shouldn't we go for Cisco CyberOps? Like, I mean, Cisco recently introduced this CyberOps, and it's kind of the same like Comptia CySA Plus. Like, both covers the same skill set required for the SOC department. But I think that why I think the reason why you should go for CySA Plus is that one, Cisco is a vendor based. I mean, I know that Cisco has a lot of tools in the industry. Cisco has shifted its focus on from networking to security. Like it has its tools like Cisco SA firewall, which is a third generation and application layer firewall, and this also works as a intrusion prevention, intrusion detection, and then Cisco has Cisco Iron Port, Cisco also has Cisco Umbrella, Cisco StealthWatch, and like Cisco has a lot of tools related to security. But reason is that Cisco right now, Cisco even though they have a lot of tools in security, Cisco doesn't have any SIM tool. I mean, SIEM, Security Information and Event Management. But the good side about Comptia CySA Plus is that they have collaborated with IBM, and IBM has the same tool. And so if you have a Comptia CySA Plus certification and you have IBM and you have a certification in IBM Associate Administration certification in Kiridar, then IBM will give you a SOC certified analyst certification, which is great. And with the rise of ransomware attacks, cyber warfare, cyber espionage, and APTs like Stuxnet and Shannon, I think this certification will give you enough knowledge and skills to deal with those cyber issues. And if you are looking for any career options, I think cybersecurity is the best career to choose right now. So some prerequisite for this certification, anyone can give this exam right now, but I would recommend that one must have at least 1 to 2 years of experience in the IT industry and minimal and some experience in security, because this certification is for the people who are intermediate to advanced level. This isn't something for the beginners. And for this certification, for you to prepare for this exam, I recommend that you have the basics covered, like what is networking, what is OSI layers and difference between the TCP and UDP and what are ports and protocols, all those stuff. And you also have the knowledge about different kinds of servers like DHCP, DNS, and web server and middleware and all those stuff. Also, you must have some good grip on Linux systems like Linux OS, and also you must know the how Active Directory and domain controllers work and what are users and how groups are made and how to implement group policies and stuff like that. And then you must also have some basic knowledge about security, like what is a firewall and how many what is a firewall and what is antivirus, what is the difference between a Trojan and different kinds of malwares like rabbit, swarm, stuff like that. I mean, this certification will not go into details of those steps because this is some advanced level thing, and for that, I would recommend that those uh, those knowledge can be covered from Network Plus, also can be covered from CCNA. CCNA and Network Plus, they are kind of the same level, but Network Plus is general, and Cisco is somewhat little bit vendor based, and then you can move your way up to Security Plus or CCNA Security. Either if you have CCNA or Network Plus, and then you have some experience in security or you are certified in Security Plus or CCNA Security, then I think you are good to go for this course. And now setting some expectations, what will you get out of this course? After this course, you will be able to work in different roles, such as you will be able to detect the behavior analytics like user behavior or application behavior, and you'll be able to also identify some threats based on pattern detection, and you will be also be able to detect anomalies and abnormal behavior and some attack vectors, and you'll be also be working on kill chain. We will discuss great deal about those in future and frameworks and some of the best industrial practices such as NIST or PCI or HIPAA. And this course will also be covering a great deal on recon tools used for recon and fingerprinting. And after this certification, you will be also be able to interpret and read logs and to interpret and take actions accordingly. This certification will also cover a great deal on for tools used for forensics, and you will be also be involved in a lead role in incidence response, cybersecurity incidence response teams, and again the security practices. After getting this certification, you can fit into following positions. You can start working as a IT security analyst, or start working in SOC department as a SOC analyst, or you can be working as a vulnerability analyst, cyber security specialist, or threat intelligence analyst, or you can work as a security engineer. So skill set this skill set can fit you into various roles in cybersecurity. So about the course is spread across the four domains of security: threat management, vulnerability management, cyber incident response, security architecture, and tool set. And that's how each domain will be weighted in the exam. And remember, the exam code for this certification is CS-001. Remember that. We are here at the Comptia site, and this certification was introduced in mid-February 2017, so it's still new. And this exam has almost like 85 questions, but it depends. But the maximum questions will be 85. An exam will be MCQs based, multiple choice questions, and you will be given 165 minutes, and the passing score is 750. An exam is pretty expensive, I must say. It's like $349, but for people from Pakistan, it's around $192. So it also says that The Comptia CySA is for IT professionals looking to gain the following security analyst skills. I think we have talked about it. Perform data analysis and interpret the results to identify vulnerabilities, threats, and risks to an organization. Configure and use threat detection tools. Secure and protect applications and systems within an organization. Let's dive into chapter 1 and the chapter 1 starts with the roles and responsibilities of an analyst. Well, actually, the roles and responsibilities vary from organization to organization, but most in most cases, the analyst reports to CISO and he does threat management and risk assessment. Let's do a quick recap. What is the difference between a vulnerability, threat, and risk? Actually, vulnerability is an absence or lack of a control, and threat is when that vulnerability is being exploited, and risk is the loss or a harm that is caused by the exploitation of that vulnerability. So let's take an example. Let's say that you have a switch, router or server or any web application that is running on default credentials with admin privileges such as admin, and this is a great vulnerability that admin or you are using a default credentials. This is a great vulnerability, and let's say someone tries to exploit it. The exploitation of that vulnerability is a threat, and the risk or the loss that it will bring to that organization will be the risk. So we will get into the details of how to calculate risk and threat and all those stuff later in the course, but discussing about the roles and responsibilities, analysts also implement best industrial practices like NIST, NIST industrial standards or industrial standards suggested by PCI or HIPAA or other industrial standards or best practices. Also, an analyst will also be involved in pen testing role, where he will be working as a white team, red team, or a blue team. He will also be recommending, implementing, and configuring controls. He will be in the leading role of an incidence response team. He will be also implementing security audits. He will be also giving employee training of security awareness, such as training on phishing emails or not to use default credentials or other best practices that are followed in the organization. So these are the roles and responsibilities, and this is how the chapter 1 starts with. And in the start of this lecture, I said that I will I will talk about the Batman logo. And the reason I put the Batman logo in the start was, and security analyst or security engineer is just like Batman. He is his organization is like Gotham City, and he is like a Batman, the vigilante who is monitoring and watching the city and fighting the bad guys. And there will be times when he will be fighting system administrators for having default credentials enabled or having bad practices such as fat network, no network segmentations, or shared credentials and those stuff. And he will also be dealing with the bad guys from the outside that are trying to penetrate the network. And he will also be dealing with the insider threats and also be dealing with phishing and all those stuff. So in the end, an analyst is like a Batman who just fires the criminals and saves the day and makes sure that Gotham City runs smoothly. So this is it for today. We have reached the end of lecture 1. One exam tip: please try to remember the roles and responsibilities of the security analyst. You might be asked about it in the exam. And please stay tuned. There's some exciting stuff coming in. And see you next lecture. Bye bye.